doing? Happy New Year. I'm going to kick off the year with a driving video of myself, but in this video I'm going to do things a teeny little bit different, and I am going to tell you about all the things that you could fail for at certain subjects when you're doing them. Okay, so I do lots of driving videos and I do commentary driving and I pick out things like that, but this one's going to be slightly different. This is going to be all the things that you could fail for if they went wrong. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything, like absolutely everything, because I'm going to be moving, right? So, and I can't be bothered to edit it with like loads and loads of stops and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to give you as much information on a 20-minute video, all right? So, first of all, I'm going to be driving out of the bay. I'm in a bay, right? I'm in a bay. I'm in Tesco's, just dropped off my student here. Okay, so I'm going to start it from here, and I'm going to face the camera towards me to begin with, because I'm going to do a manoeuvre to begin with, and then after that I may have to stop and then change the video round. Okay, we'll go with it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come out of a bay. I'm bay forward at the moment. I need to come out of the bay. Right, we need to pretend that there is cars on the left and the right of us. If coming out of this bay I was to steer straight away, I am literally going to crash into the car on my left and my right. I must take half of the car out of the bay before I steer. So I always say to my students when you're doing this, reverse back until you are like, your bum is like on the end of the line. Yeah. So you can see the end of the line there. When my bum is sat on the end of the line, that's my turning point, okay? So, things that I can fail for this immediately is observation, okay? I could fail instantaneously for not checking my blind spots and not looking out the back. That's the fail. I could fail if I turn the wheel too early if there's a car on my left and the right, because I'm gonna hit it, okay? I could fail if I'm coming out of here and I don't see a pedestrian behind me, a car behind me, a bike behind me. So my observation has to be brilliant. There is multiple things that I could fail for just pulling out of this bay. All right, so reverse gear. Checking from the right all the way around, checking for cars, bikes and pedestrians. Reversing back, keeping the steering wheel nice and straight. Keeping the steering wheel straight. My bum is now on the end line. I can steer now. Checking out the back as much as possible. Do not enter the bays behind. I'm at an angle, that's fine. Checking my blind spot. There is a pedestrian there. I would fail if I didn't check him or check the blind spot there. Checking my mirrors, and I'm going to be following the car park round. Okay, cool. Checking my mirrors. Okay, there is a pedestrian, just keeping him safe. Okay, so I'm going to do a bay park now. Mirrors to the right, signal to the right, blind spot. I'm moving over to the right. I could fail if there was somebody overtaking me and I didn't know about it. So observations are crucial there. Here I need to do all my observations all the way round to see if there's any cars, bikes or pedestrians. I also would fail if there was anyone coming out of the bay towards me and I just block them off. But these Tesco's vehicles have no one in them, so I'm okay. So I'm checking everywhere because I would fail for not looking properly. I'm going to reverse back to my reference point. Okay, my reference point, the line of the bay is now cutting my window halfway. Checking everywhere, checking my blind spot. Very, very quick steering, there's no one to signal for. Checking all the way around, checking my blind spot and my back window as much as possible. Checking to see how I'm getting on. I'm halfway in the bay now, but I'm coming in too strong. So I'm going to soften my wheel just over half to come in. Checking all the way around, putting it back on now. So I go back into the bay. Checking out the back as much as possible, going nice and slow. Not going to hit the person behind. Straightening up. Okay, looking out the back window. Straightening up, handbrake neutral. At this stage, I could fail if I wasn't in the lines. Okay, so here I would check to see if I'm in the lines by checking my mirror. I don't know whether you can see that. Oh, I don't know whether you can see it. Okay, but I can check this mirror to see if I'm in the lines. and I'm in the lines. Guys, if you're not in the lines, you're going to fail. You're going to fail your driving test, okay, if your observations are not very good on this manoeuvre. Guys, if your manoeuvre goes wrong, who cares, right? As long as your observations are absolutely immaculate, okay? Observations are the most important thing. Yeah, keep pedestrians, keep other cars safe, look out the back window, okay? If the manoeuvre goes wrong, you can fix it 3 times. Okay, who cares? Yeah, it doesn't matter. But check out the back window, check all the blind spots, go slowly, all right, end up in the lines. Then, if you're not in the lines, fix it 3 times, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna change the camera now round the other way, and then I'll talk to you about other things that you can fail for when you're doing this, all right? Okay guys, so I'm going to be leaving the car parking space that I'm in. For those of you who know Cheltenham, yes, this is not Tesco's anymore. I did drive away from Tesco's and I did about 7 minutes of driving, and then I suddenly noticed that my camera was not in the right place. It was flipping annoying because I did loads of work. Anyway, I'm going to be leaving this new car parking space and talking to you about it from now. Okay, so I'm going to leave the car parking space. So the first thing that I could fail for is observation, missing cars, missing pedestrians, and missing bikes, right? So I'm just going to check from the left all the way around. It's really common for my students to say to me, oh, do I need to check my blind spots here because there'll be nothing there? How do you know that there's going to be nothing there unless you check it? Yeah, so check from the left all the way around, checking, looking to see if there's anybody going to be hittable. So I'm checking. I need to take my car out a little bit before I steer, not necessarily half, but it's like leaving a T-junction, okay? So you can go forward a little bit and then turn, but don't turn immediately because you'd hit the imaginary cars on the left and the right. So if there was a car there, right, you're going to hit it. So do come out a little bit before steering, all right? People say to me, do I need to signal? It depends on the situation. I've got lots and lots of roads because of McDonald's here and stuff like that. So I am going to use a signal to leave this because there is like almost a road opposite me. So I think it's useful, all right? So checking my mirrors, signalling. Right, I'm looking to see if there's anybody that I could potentially have an issue with here. Just crawling out a little bit because I need to see past a parked car. There's a silver car on my right. Checking both ways. Yep, he didn't use a signal to enter Mackey's. Right, so checking. Yep, lifting and dipping my clutch. No one to worry about. Okay, so continuing. So I'm just going to pause here because obviously he's now blocked the road and there's a car on my right. I might be nice to the car on the right actually. So I don't necessarily have to do that, but this is kind of just pleasant of me. Checking my mirrors. There's a hill here, so if I rolled back, that could have made me fail. It's very important that you don't roll on any hills, so you put your handbrake on, find your biting point. Okay. At the end, turning left, mirrors to the left, signals to the left. If I had missed my mirrors there, I might pick up minors, but if there was a bike, then it could fail me, or if there was a scooter, that could fail me because they'd be in danger. Okay, so looking to see if it's okay. Checking up, yeah, fine. Okay, so basically if I hadn't used a signal there, that could be an immediate fail because I haven't signaled to tell people where I'm going. So the missed signal is more likely to make me fail than the missed mirror check. The missed mirror check is probably minor unless there's something that turns up like a bike or something like that. So I'm not saying for a minute don't check your mirrors because it could be extremely serious. You could really hurt a bike or a scooter, right? So definitely mirror signal maneuver, okay? So I'm not going to go, I'm doing 26 miles an hour. I can't really go any faster because of traffic in front of me and stuff like that. Mirrors to the right, signal to the right. So again, same thing. Speed by braking. This is a roundabout. Checking to the right, seeing if I can go. Looking for blockers, seeing if I can time blockers. Checking, yeah, I'm going to use the black car as a blocker. And I'm going to be turning. Cool, so with that, obviously that was a roundabout. If I pull out at the wrong time, I'm going to fail. So if I make anybody on the right slow down because of me going, I'm going to fail absolutely instantaneously. I could fail for not being in the correct gear. The most likely thing that would be horrible there if I was to fail for wrong gear is if I've stopped in third or stopped in second and I've forgotten to go back to first, and then if I try and move off and then I stall because I'm in the wrong gear inside the roundabout, that would make me fail if somebody was coming. It could make you fail anyway, actually. It depends on how dramatic it is, but you've stalled inside a junction, which would not be good, okay? Depends on how you fix it, how quickly you can fix it, okay? Mirrors. Okay, here, because I was worried about the person pulling out, I checked my mirrors. That's a speed mirror thing there. Checking my mirrors. Speed by braking. I need to give way to the blue car. If I had gone then and stolen his priority, I would have failed because it doesn't look like I understand who's got priority. Checking my mirrors to the right. That is incredibly important that you check your mirrors to the right and check your mirrors to the left when you come back in, especially the mirrors to the right. Guys, you might get away with not doing it, but flipping heck, I really don't advise it at all. If my friends didn't check their mirrors to the right to overtake a parked car, I would be petrified. Mirrors to the left, signal to the left. Roundabout, choosing second gear. I've talked about roundabouts and what you can fail for a little bit. So yeah, so just going back to that mirror check for the parked car, guys, if somebody was overtaking you at that point when you're going to overtake a parked car, that would be so unbelievably dangerous. So I strongly recommend, even though it might be a minor on your test, if somebody was overtaking you, that could be so brutally dangerous that it could be a dangerous fault if somebody was overtaking you. And you'll only know if they're overtaking you if you check your mirrors, okay? Checking my mirrors for the person at the bus stop. Okay, so obviously I'm trying to be more detailed about things, so I'm driving, I'm doing lots of other hazards like this, but I'll try and be more detailed about other things. Okay, so I'm just going up to fourth gear and I'm travelling at 30, checking my mirrors for the pedestrian, checking my mirrors, considering her safety. Coming up to a roundabout, mirrors to the left, signal to the left after the junction. If I had signalled before the junction, that could have made me fail if somebody was in the junction and then they tried to go. So it is very, very, very important that I go past junctions before signalling to the left at the junction that I wanted to go. So if it's too early and it looks like you're going into a different one, you could fail for that if somebody was there, because that would be extremely dangerous. They would pull out in front of you. Mirrors to the left, signal to left. Speed by braking, clutch down second. If I didn't have control and I went too fast around this corner, I may go over the lines towards the oncoming vehicles, which of course would be a loss of control of steering, and I could fail for that because the examiner would have to intervene and use the brake. All right, guys, checking my mirrors. Looking ahead, I've got speed bumps on this road. Okay, so speed bumps, there's probably not much to fail on here apart from it knackering the car if you go over too quickly. It is a speed calming measure, so the examiner is going to expect you to slow down. If you go over these without any reduction of speed, he may be very confused. It's a speed calming situation, so he may be like, awareness and planning, why are you not slowing down for speed bumps? Yeah, speed bumps are going to be around the situation for certain situations like schools or parks or something like that, so they're there for a reason. So even though I don't think I've ever had anybody actually get a fail for a speed bump, I think you could get awareness and planning things like if you hit them too hard, they are supposed to be there to make you go slower, right? Okay, so there's a lot of parked cars on my side, on the other side, so it's my priority. It's my priority as I go down here, but it could be a bit of a nuisance if somebody was coming towards me. I'm slowing down to see what his plans are, and we can fit together, checking my mirrors and just lowering my gear. If I didn't slow down, that could be awareness and planning. There's not a lot of space there, so I could start picking up like minors for being a bit too bolshy. There's somebody was coming, like we need to be nice to each other. We need to like help each other, Checking my mirrors to turn right at the roundabout. Speed by braking. Roundabout coming up, it's closed, I can't see, so there's a risk of coasting here, so I'm going to go down into first gear. This person on my right is signalling to his left, so that means I can go straight away. If I had left my clutch down and coasted around the roundabout, I would have gone way too fast. I would have started picking up control minors on steering, or even clutch minors with coasting. Checking my mirrors. So he's got bad position, so I'm just checking my mirrors and I'm just keeping good position. I may have to move slightly because some of these people are really helping the pedestrians out by keeping way too far to the right. Their right, that I mean. Ooh, this is not very nice around here, is it? Everybody's at the races. Cheltenham races were on today. It's like I'm going into the lion's den here. Mirrors to the right, signal to the right. It's a big roundabout. Obviously I would fail if I used the wrong lane for where I wanted to go. So it's very important that I know about the 12 o'clock theory and choose the correct lane for the exits that I'm taking. It's important that I don't hit the curb on the inside of the roundabout. This person's gonna, all right, go on then. Checking my mirrors. So I had to act fast for his weird behaviour then. Didn't feel safe to undertake him because he suddenly just decided to move off in front of me, checking my mirrors to the left and coming out. If I don't check my mirrors of coming out of a roundabout, I will instantly fail, guys. It's an instant fail. Like, let me just put it out there. Yeah, that's an instant fail. All right, guys? So mirrors out of roundabouts, signal out of roundabouts. If you don't signal out of a roundabout and nobody was there, you might get away with it, but not the mirrors. It's absolutely vitally important. I mean, you saw just now that that person on the roundabout was being weird, and he had a conversation with the person, and he told him to go elsewhere, and he signalled to the right, and yeah, then it all just turned into a bit of a nightmare. I had to think on my feet about what was the safest option for the situation. I didn't know whether he was going to pull away straight away, so I chose to let him go. All right. Checking my mirrors. If I go too fast down here because the hill takes me too quickly, I could fail for breaking the speed limit. So I've got to be very careful. In fact, I could set a cruise control now, cruise control. So now the car is helping me. So I'm using cruise control at 30. Otherwise, I could just control it with my brake. But 31 miles an hour is not going to make you fail, guys. Lots of people ask me that. Oh, you're not going to fail for doing 31. But if you are sustaining 32, 33, and you're not bothering to do anything about it, you're breaking the law. Yeah, so they're going to start failing you for that. All right. So, you know, look after yourself. Like with your driving license, you don't want to get any points, but we also don't want to fail your driving test, right? So, checking my mirrors, which could be a minor if I didn't here because I'm slowing down. Speed by braking, clutch down. Obviously this has been a typical 30 because it's residential and there's lampposts, okay? So it's important that I don't go too slow on this road, but it's also important that I don't go too fast. Students will often be surprised that they can they can fail for going too slow. That surprises students sometimes. Yeah, you can certainly fail for going too slowly because you're supposed to be a driver. You're not a learner when you go to this driving test, right? You've had all these driving lessons, you paid all this money not to be a learner anymore. So you don't want to go there and be like, oh, I'm still a learner. You know, that is just definitely not what you want to do. You want to be competent enough. You want to drive as if you're late for work, but you're doing everything incredibly safely and correctly. Checking my mirrors to see if there's any undertaking bikes, because I'm about to turn left. Mirrors to the left, signals left. Okay, it's my priority. If I didn't know the priorities here, I could fail. If I started giving way to the oncoming people, the examiner would be upset with me because it's my priority and I need to show him the rules of the road. Very important that now I'm like, I put my crown on and I'm like, it's my priority. If I started giving way to the wrong person, I would fail there, yeah? So it's important to show the examiner the rules. If it's your priority, if it's safe to do so, take your priority, yeah? Don't start giving way to the wrong people. I remember teaching an American student who was doing that once because their rules are different in that country, and she failed quite a lot for giving way to the wrong people. Checking to see if I can go at the roundabout. Somebody's signalling at the roundabout, so I'm just going to give way. Hill start, it's important that I don't roll here because I could fail for rolling. There's a lot of people to give way to. I'm looking for blockers. I could fail here for hesitation, so I just need to be careful that I take the right gap. And mirror signal, I've already spoken about that. Very important that I mirror and signal out of the roundabout. So roundabouts, yes, you can fail for hesitation. Yes, you can fail for pulling out at the wrong time. Yes, you can fail for not choosing the correct lane or having bad position at a roundabout. So if it's the 12 o'clock there and you don't keep to the left, that's called straight lining. You could fail for that. Yeah, watch my videos on that if you need to. I could fail for being too close to parked cars here. So I had to have at least a metre of space from the parked cars. I had to ignore the line in the road. Property is more important than paint, right? So if I tried to stay in the lines there, I'd be way too close to the cars and I would definitely fail for being too close to cars. The amount of mirrors, guys, that I've seen smashed to pieces today, 5, if I need to put a number on it, I've seen 5 mirrors smashed to pieces today. Property is more important than paint. Checking my mirrors to overtake these cars. I look after these parked cars by being a metre away from them. There's a car door open, mirrors, slow down. It's oncoming people's priority. Checking my mirrors. Yeah, if I didn't slow down for the woman on the left, I could fail for being too close to her and putting her into danger. I could fail for not giving way to the oncoming person when the hazard was on my side. Guys, it doesn't matter if it's a fallen tree. It doesn't matter if it's a bin. It doesn't matter if it's a woman with the door open, yeah? It doesn't matter what it is on the left. If you've got a hazard on the left, it's your hazard. yeah? And you need to give way to the oncoming people. I could fail for multiple reasons there, okay? Checking my mirrors, picking up my speed, 30 miles an hour. Okay, so I'm just following the road and just going to slow down a little bit for the bend. It's important that I keep good position here, so otherwise I get positional faults, yeah? Normal driving positional faults. So it's important that I have my steering wheel in the centre of the available space, so from the curb to the line. Otherwise I'm going to get literally minors for positioning too close to the left or too close to the right, or I could even start failing for hitting the curb, which would be a horrible nightmare, or being too close to the oncoming people, okay? Checking to the right, runner on my left, mirrors to the right. I could fail for stopping on the keep clear, so I would have to be very careful that I didn't stop on the keep clear there, right? I could fail for parking at the bus stop if I was going to park. Checking my mirrors, property is more important than paint. There is a mess in front of me. I call the road a mess if there's parked cars on the left and the right, and I'm owning the mess now, so it's my mess. So, but if I tried to get through the gap when somebody was coming and I couldn't fit, that could backfire horribly on meeting traffic. Here I'm going to keep to the left because I need to create space for the other person, so I could get minus for that, or I could fail if I didn't move, yeah? Oncoming person would be like, what are you doing? Why are you not moving out of the way? Mirrors, zigzag lines. I could fail for parking there. I could fail for overtaking a car there. Checking my mirrors. Okay, so I'm going to take the next road on the left. Mirrors. I need to time my signal correctly so I don't look like I'm going into the previous left turn, which we've already spoken about. Mirrors to the left. Down into second, using a T-junction, turning left. There's a car. I'm going to stop for him. Oh, it's my friend. Hello. Okay. Checking to the right. Moving into this box here to turn right, checking into the side road. If I didn't use that box to go into the right turn, then I could fail. If I didn't go into it, definitely would fail for not going into that turn, because people would not be able to undertake me. They'd be very, very frustrated with me if I didn't do that. So it was extremely important that I went into the box to give way to potentially oncoming people if there were any. Here I need to be extremely careful. Even though it's my priority on paper, it's my priority because my side of the road is clear. If somebody's coming, I need to be careful because there's got to be a gap for them to be able to give way to me. So I'm being very careful. It's a 20-mile-an-hour limit, so of course if I went any faster than 20 around here, I would immediately fail for breaking the speed limit. Checking my mirrors to the left. Park cars in the new road. Okay. Got to check there's a cat on the floor. Yeah, okay, cat's gone away. Good. Checking my mirrors. Right, cats, yeah, you're going to have to be careful. Maybe just slow down. God, there's cats everywhere. What's going on? There's another cat in the road. Right, there's no one behind me, so I'm just going to try and save this cat's life. There's no point in being sadistic about it, right? If you could save its life, obviously save its life. Going to turn right at the end of the road. If there's no human life around, you know, that's going to be hurt by the situation, then you can obviously save lives of animals. But I'm afraid if you're on a 60-mile-an-hour road and you've got some kind of pheasant there and there's a car behind you or human life to look after, I'm afraid the pheasant or the pigeon's going to have to get it. Sounds awful, I hate saying it. I don't know why it slips off the tongue so easily. Guys, anyway, look, I hope that's enough information. It's been quite fun for me to like point out these kind of fails. Let me know what you think about it, because I normally just do a commentary drive, but my student said that she'd watched another driving instructor do this recently and she found it quite useful. So I was like, do you think I should do that? And she was like, yeah, I think you should. And I was like, okay, cool. I will do that then. See what the people on YouTube reckon. Guys, I really hope that you've had a nice new year and that your celebrations were good. I appreciate you, and I shall see you on the next video.